Hello, everybody. This is Amy, and this is my first DIY, Farmhouse DIY Christmas video. It's actually my first DIY video ever. So I'm taking a Dollar Tree box. This one kind of looks like almost like a gingerbread house, but I'm not going to use the lid because the first thing that I'm doing is making a tree with a Dollar Tree. It's a Dollar Tree tree. They're really skimpy, but I had tried to speed up the video, and then I did the voiceover, and it sped it up too. So, like I said, I'm learning on how to do this, and I think on my next video, I'm just going to record my voice as I'm doing it, and then pause it because I almost ditched this whole thing because I know it's an awful video. It should just be a big blooper or something, but I did too much work. I lost footage. And like I said, when I was trying to edit it and put my voice in, I sounded like Alvin, Simon, and Theodore. So I'm taking this it's Waverly white chalk paint, and with it, I added baking soda to give like a stucco effect. And I'm going to do it to the entire box. I don't make you watch all of that because that would just be excruciating. I did figure, well, I paused it. That's how I got out of that. But I'm going to have to be talking now throughout this. And the footage that I lost was of me assembling the tree down into the box. But what I ended up doing was taking 2 styrofoam discs and putting in the bottom. And then I stuck the tree down into that green. You can see it there in the frame. Floral foam. I hot glued the floral foam to the discs to give it some elevation, but I did not glue the tree down into the floral foam. So that way, if I want to repurpose this, because I'm doing this in a white, and then I'm going to distress it with some black folk art paint. If I want to repurpose it, then I can repurpose the box or repurpose the tree. So there you can see the effect. And now I'm going to take that same paint and I'm going to paint the tree. Now that long end I end up cutting off because of it's just way long. And like I said, these are skimpy trees, but they're just $1 from the Dollar Tree. So I actually shaped it in a downward motion. I thought about taking 2 of them and putting them together, but I kind of like the skimpiness of it. My husband's going outside because my son and his girlfriend are getting ready to come in, and my dog is probably getting ready to go nuts because she's nuts about his girlfriend and him. But anyway, so again, I'm just taking the paint and putting it. See, you can hear Coco. Coco's going crazy because Carrie's here. She's but I'm just dabbing it on to give the frosting effect like it's snow. And then I end up taking some mini pine cones that I got from Hobby Lobby. This year I plan on making homemade decorations, and I'll make a video on that, but trust me, by then hopefully I'll have all this stuff figured out. But because right here I'm in the wrong angle, and towards the end of the video I figure out where I need my camera, my webcam facing. Like I said, it's learning curve, and I'm like way below the learning curve on this. Technology has surpassed me, but I have done crafts for years. I used to sell them. I don't sell them anymore, but these little trees for $1, and like I said, you can take two and put them together and make a pretty decent size tree. And then they also sell little pine stems or whatever. They're, I think, 12 in a pack for $1 that you could add around it to kind of fill it in. But I just wanted this one to kind of look rustic, farmhouse. And again, I apologize that you're having to watch all of this, but it wouldn't let me speed it up. And I've watched videos where they speed up the video, but their audio isn't sped up. But mine, even when I changed it, it still had it sped up. So here I'm going to try, but I end up changing my mind, painting onto this sanding sponge and dabbing it where the raised up parts from the stucco, um, to give it that look. But I don't like it. The sanding sponge is too stiff. Excuse me. So I end up taking just a dry brush and going around it, and I'm pretty heavy handed with it when I do it that way, but that's okay because I like the look of it. And there's some places that are kind of, thicker than others, but I'm going to take a buffalo plaid ribbon that came from Walmart. I think it's 2.5 inches, and I go around the box with it. And then you don't see this footage because it got lost. I take some bells that are white and they're distressed that I got from Hobby Lobby. And you can see it in the picture, but they're not small. And I took some jute and strung them through that and then hot glued it to the inside of the box. So they're just kind of hanging there about where a bow would be on the ribbon. Yeah, this is where I just ditched that. I'm like, nope, not today. But when I'm doing this, I'm just like, I had laundry going. So I did figure out, my son helped me figure out how to um, mute the background noise. But see, there's a little bit, it's heavy right there, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. You do you. If you want to if you don't want to put anything on it, because it's pretty either way. I just like it looking old and I first tried putting bags down in there, but that didn't work. They just sprung up. It was like a jack in the box tree. I don't even know why I thought about that, just as a filler. But I end up putting those two styrofoam discs down, hot gluing the foam or floral foam, and then putting some Spanish moss as a filler. Here I am putting the little pine cones on the tree. And those were half off, so there's the finished product. And I put a bell up at the top as a tree topper. This is the next DIY is just a little shadow box. It came from Dollar Tree, and it has, I think, a fall design on the back. So I'm taking some scrapbook paper that's a wood plank that I got. I got it from Hobby Lobby, and outlining it to fit the back, and then I do one to fit the inside as well. And here I'm painting the sides with the white chalk paint. I end up putting a little bit of paint on the inside because the paper that I cut wasn't exactly snug. Now I'm just applying the paper to the back with some hot glue. Now I've applied the paper to the inside with hot glue, and I'm going to take a sanding sponge and, well, I'm getting ready to apply the paper. I've got to paint around, and then I just hot glue right over the top of it because it doesn't matter. The chalk paint dries pretty quick, but since I'm going to just be gluing that down, it doesn't matter. I've seen people with it's a heat gun. I didn't even know they made those, but those would be really neat, especially with that stucco. That took a very long time to dry. I actually started this while I was waiting on it to dry and then I've watched videos and they've got these heat guns. I'm like, that's just cool. I guess a hair dryer. I don't know if a hair dryer would do it or not. And it's like an X-Acto knife. Everybody uses those X-Acto knives to cut like poster board and stuff like that. And they say they get them at Dollar Tree, but anytime I'm at Dollar Tree, I never can remember what it is that it's called. So I haven't gotten one. Now I've got the little thingy on my finger to protect my finger. I got that at Dollar Tree because hot glue, it don't play. It hurts. And I get it all over me, and then it's like a spider web. It just, it don't let go. Now I'm taking the little red truck. They come in a pack of 4 at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to glue it to the bottom inside. And then I have some little, there's a white tree, a gray tree, and a black tree. And I'm gluing those over to the side of the truck. And I also take some of that paint or stucco paint, whatever, and flock the little trees and the tree in the truck, the little red truck. Now I'm taking this garland. I actually got this garland at Hobby Lobby for some of my Christmas ornaments. It's more sturdy, and 50% off. It was like $4.99, so like $2, and it's a pretty big bundle of it. And I took 2. I'm doubling it up to make a wreath to go on in the center there. So I get that ready, and then I hot glue it down. I flock it with the paint, and then I take some little red berries that I got. I got those at Hobby Lobby. And I put those on the wreath, glue them, and then I have a leftover pick from last year, white pick from Dollar Tree, and I cut some of those off and glue on there as well. And then I make a little bitty just cross bow. I take the plaid material or ribbon, black and white, and cut it in half. It's thin to begin with, but I cut it in half and then just make a little crossy bow and glue it to the bottom. I think the little red truck and those trees are so cute. Now I'm taking some of that same garland from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to make it like almost like a garland going over the mantle of a fireplace. And I cut two sections um, and intertwine those together to make them a little thicker. This little garland, it's nice. Um, they like I said, they sell those things at Dollar Tree that come in a pack of 12, and they're just real. I don't know. They'd be okay for filling in one of those Dollar Tree trees, but they're just really chintzy looking. And this stuff is good quality, but it's small. So I take two and put them together, and then I glue them up at the top, and then drape them over the side and glue them at the sides. And then I take some more of that white paint and flock it to make it look like snow. And then I take two little bitty pine cones and attach to the top. And I just think it's a cute little arrangement. You could stick this on a tiered tray. You could just set it, you know, with some of your other decorations. Okay, this is a gnome that I made last year. Gnome hat. I'm not big on gnomes. I mean, to each their own, but I had seen them and I thought, well, I'm going to try to make one. So this is a Dollar Tree witch's hat frame. It's not the kind that I use to make my Christmas trees. Those are like straight and they're wire. This is plastic. So I'm just cutting off the tag, obviously, and then I start taking off the garland. Well, it's tinsel, really. I just take my wire cutters and cut that, and then it comes off real easy because it's just attached on those little nubs on the side. And then I take the wire cutters and cut the bottom off and cut the little nubs off of the side. Because what I'm going to be using is that red tool. It has some silver stars on it. It's real pretty, but it came from Dollar Tree. I end up using 2 rows because it's thin, so you have to double it up while you're wrapping it around, and then double over, like go back over half of what you've already done, and repeat. But what I did here, I thought, I'll put a one of those bells on for a nose, but it ended up looking like a dog nose because of the slits. So I took that off, and I ended up just making it basically a Santa hat. But you could do whatever you want. I was going to do buffalo check mesh, but that didn't work out. That stuff's too thin. So to attach this, I'm taking a zip tie and just starting at the very top in the corner. And I'll leave some hanging out, but I cut that out or cut it off later. And then you'll see me taking it and doubling it because it's sheer. You can tell by looking at it, it's like see-through. So you kind of have to double it, and then it took 2 rows. So basically this whole thing ended up, for those materials being about $3. But I have a bunch of those frames. I even thought about doing a cornucopia, like attaching 2 of them, and for fall doing a cornucopia with them, because you could do that. You can do a lot with those. I mean, they have a lot of different, they're candy cane. They have candy cane frames that I use to make decorative candy canes. The ones they have this year, they aren't worth a hoot. I mean, I didn't buy any because I still have several left over from last year. But they're shorter and they're very flimsy. So I had gone online last year and bought, I think the minimum of those was 10 because like the witch hat frames that I use for Christmas trees, those you have to get 20, and there's the pumpkin, because I ended up not being able to get any pumpkin frames this year because they just didn't have them. We don't have very good Dollar Trees around here, but you can go online and order like 20 of them, I think is the minimum. So I just keep wrapping this around until I get down to the bottom. And then I decide to go with I got it last year. It's like fake fur. It's going to be his beard and then the rim of his hat. So I attach it at the bottom with glue, and then I cut off part for a rim. I thought about that nose, and then I was like, nope, that's ugly. So, you can do whatever you want to do here. I'm just letting you know and showing you the different options you can do with these things because, like I said, I'm not a big gnome person, but a lot of people are. But it turns out, that's pretty. It's, and the frame's $1, the tools $1 each. Over there to the right is a pick that I have, and it looks like the berries, the paint's come off, but it's a snow effect that's been put on them. And I end up taking the silver bell off and some of the greenery and the berries and attaching to the end of the hat. Here I'm just giving him his beard a haircut because it was just a square or rectangle. And this is where I'm putting the rim for the hat on. And now I'm attaching the greenery with the berries and the silver bell. I can't remember where that pick came from. I'm wanting to think Hobby Lobby last year. It might have been Walmart. Um, or the year before. I don't know. I don't know how long I've had this. And I'm trying, I don't know what I'm thinking here. I know better than to think that that's going to go through. That's a zip tie. Going to go through that tool that's doubled up and so yeah, hot glue. Hot glue. I've tried that E6000 before. Oh Lord, it made me high. I swear. It I was so lightheaded, I was scared. I called my husband. I'm like, I don't know what this stuff is, but and I see people use it all the time, and I've rarely heard anybody talk about the the smell. I had to open up all the windows, turn on fans, trying to get. It was awful. Maybe I used too much. I don't know, but I got real lightheaded and ugh. But it's for a long hold, so a lot of people use it, and then they'll go back in and put hot glue for a temporary quick hold. But I'm not ever using that stuff again. Well, I won't say I'll never use it, but I'll have to be outside with a big wind blowing or something. I don't know, because it scared me. I was like, what in the world? Like airplane glue, the old airplane glue for airplane kits. See, there's that bell. I take it off, don't worry. And it does look like a dog's nose, don't it? You know it does. It does. It's ugly, but I take it off. So that is it for this DIY. Like I said, I'm working out the bugs. I plan on making another video and posting it on Tuesday, and it'll probably be of my decorations that we're making, or I'm making for the tree. And I got some other things from Dollar Tree yesterday. I got some pretty gift bags and ornaments. So I hope you will consider coming back and watching that video. Thank you, and you all have a good day.